On this episode of the Daily Ask Dinos Show, I discuss 404 errors and what they mean for your business, especially if you're an e-commerce website. Boom! 404 errors that aren't getting solved. So with our e-commerce clients, one of the biggest problems to solve in e-commerce is product handling and the management of that. So the 404 errors, for example, can usually show a symptom to a much bigger problem. And I try to inform our clients that even though 404s, and I've actually had discussions with SEOs that argue with me, say, oh, don't worry too much about 404s because they don't necessarily hurt your rankings. That's not necessarily true. And the reason for that is we've actually found links, some awesome links coming from TAFE, New South Wales, and going to pages on clients' websites that are returning a 404 error, which means they're not getting the link authority transferred over. So if you don't fix that 404 error, you're not getting the benefit of that link. So even examples like that doesn't make sense. But on a technical point of view, 404 errors, and a lot of them that consistently go up, and you solve a batch and then another batch comes, that means that there's bigger problems you need to deal with. So with e-commerce sites, a lot of the problems is products going in and out of stock or being discontinued and coming back. And we've developed a pretty good way of helping clients solve that problem, which is pretty close to us in terms of helpful, of really awesome information. But ultimately, solving them, it can mean the difference between great links, can mean the difference between a lot of traffic. Like the worst thing is for a customer to be searching for a product, that they click on the link and it goes to a page that says broken. If my mum does that, she'll feel like she's broken the internet. So you have to think that you want to solve the 404s even from the perspective of user experience. And even when I used to work on Bing Lee, one of the biggest problems was I got faced with, what does this mean for SEO? Take the fact out that it means nothing for SEO. Who wants to look at a page that's broken, that's been clicked on from a search result? Nobody does. And there's so many competitors now, and the market's so aggressive that if someone lands on a broken 404 page, I can confidently say with 70% accuracy that they're just going to bounce off and go somewhere else. And where they're going to end up, they're going to end up at your competitors. So just from a user point of view, it doesn't make sense to have 404s. But from a technical SEO point of view, it usually means, it indicates there's a much bigger problem that needs to be solved. And the 404 is like a headache. It's telling you of a problem. It's telling you that this is a symptom for a much bigger problem that needs to be dealt with, or things will get worse. And that's usually from our experience. When we solve those 404 problems, we've found that traffic long-term usually goes up, especially for e-commerce sites that have the biggest trouble dealing with large amounts of pages. So even sites that are directory sites like domain and realestate.com.au. Of course, if you're a small 10-page website, then maybe 404s isn't a big issue. But as the bigger the site gets, crawlability, Google only spends a certain amount of time on your website. You don't want them finding broken pages and broken sections of the site because that will lower your rankings, believing you may reduce user experience from their perspective.